episodes 9 and 10 this past Sunday night. It has been probably the most talked about thing in sports in America, more so than NASCAR coming back, more so than a golf match with four guys who actually turned into decent ratings, more than the UFC with 3 fights in 9 nights. The number one most talked about sports story in America has been the Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance. And the ratings have been off the charts. But I got to tell you, I love the aftermath of it all. I, I love the conversation thereafter. It's interesting to me that a guy like Scott Burrell, you mentioned this the other day, Browner, never was interviewed. He was ridiculed, he was bullied, but he was never interviewed. Whereas a guy like Horace Grant came to the Bulls, won championships with the Bulls, moved on and beat the Bulls with Orlando, and yet Horace Grant was interviewed for this documentary. Now, Horace Grant goes on a radio show in Chicago and says a so-called documentary. Horace Grant went into a story, and I'm not sure if everybody's heard this or not, but that he didn't play well in a game. They get onto a team charter. Michael Jordan tells the flight attendants, see that guy right there? He doesn't eat. You don't give him any food because he played like shit tonight. And Horace Grant said, and it was very funny the way he said it, but I'll paraphrase. Like, man, ain't no man going to come take my food. If you're going to come try and take my food, I'm going to whip your ass. You know, that's the way I read it. I'm not sure exactly how he said it, but that's the way I read it. And so what I love about what Horace Grant is doing is this. Michael Jordan came off as a giant bully, right? Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan comes off as this big, giant bully. And one guy that's absolutely not going to back down to him, at least not now, is Horace Grant. Now, Horace Grant would tell you back then, Michael Jordan didn't want none of this smoke. It was easy for Michael Jordan to punch Steve Kerr in the face, but he wasn't going to fight Horace Grant. So I like the fact, whether it's true or false, I like the fact that Horace Grant is not just continuing to kiss Michael Jordan's ass.
Oh my God.
But I think what's interesting about it is that why did Jordan put him in this documentary? Like, he could have easily have clipped him out, but he gave him his chance to talk. That's for sure. I love all this, man. The aftermath of this is beautiful.
And he was saying that, like, I don't even know why Scotty even came out in this because he looked like trash. And I was like, wait a minute. Scotty was the one that said, I wouldn't go back in the game if I had a second chance. Scotty was the one that looked like a hero in that game when he with the back thing. Like, and Scotty was in it a lot. So I know Horace Grant, the only thing that he was really, truly pissed about was that Jordan said he was the snitch of Sam Smith's book, and that's all that matters. So that's the only thing that stood out to Horace Grant.
Horace Grant, don't be a bitter bitch, okay?
A what?
A bitter bitch. Don't be a bitter bitch. I can repeat it again if you need. Bro, look, you bailed on the Bulls, so therefore you lost out on the chance to get the other 3 titles. That's what you won't let go. Yes, you are the rat in the Sam Smith book, because your also comment was, oh, you need 2 sources to write a book. Sam Smith's a journalist. You need 2 sources.
And we're still good
bitch,
friends.
You was one, and you're still good friends with him.
Why are you calling him a bitch all the time?
Because Horace Grant is being a bitch, okay? You were in the documentary. You were actually portrayed positively. The story about you being on a plane and not eating has nothing to do with it. And by the way, he told that story 3 times to 3 different publications, 2 being one was Shannon Sharp, another was this radio station in Chicago, and he also told it to a newspaper and told it 3 different times because I've heard that story 3 different times in 3 different ways. So Horace Grant, at least get your lies straight, bro. You the snitch in the book. Don't be trying to get mad at Mike. What's wrong with you, bro?
You know,
he gave you 3 titles.
I assume that he's the snitch in the book because when you say things like, yeah, me and him are really good friends, it's like when you're the player and you're being accused of being a snitch, I would think you'd probably want to separate yourself from the writer and go, what are you talking about? He's a writer. I'm a player. But instead he's saying, yeah, we're really good friends. And then the whole part about you have to have 2 sources to write a book. Who wrote that rule? So of course, I assume that Horace Grant is the snitch. All I'm saying is this. I like that Horace Grant is not like everybody else in the world, just a big suck up who says, no, I'm just willing to take it. I think Michael Jordan's a bully. And if I were 6'10" and I were Horace Grant's size, I'd say, bring it on, big boy. Cause you know what? I think mano y mano, forget that you're the GOAT and I'm just a role player. If you want to go man to man, I'm willing to do that. Now, me, if it's just me, of course, I'm not willing to do that. It's just me. But if I were Horace Grant, of course, I'd want to fight.
The reason why Michael Jordan never went after Horace Grant, I said this initially when I talked about him going after Steve Kerr, Bill Winnington, Judd Bushler, Luke Longley of those sorts, Scott Burrell, because Horace Grant did his job. Horace Grant played well. So therefore, if you played well, Michael Jordan didn't really mess with you because he didn't have a problem with you because you was going up on his level. Horace Grant was there for those battles with the Pistons. So Michael Jordan respected Horace Grant, and he never went after Horace Grant like that. Horace Grant is bitter, okay? Sometimes when you get dumped by a female, you don't let it go. That's all this is.
He did the dumping.
He thought he did the dumping because he thought Jordan was done. Then Jordan came back out of nowhere, poof, pow, into Dennis Rodman. Now you've been substituted. So the new
but
girl,
he got his fourth. He got his fourth.
With who?
The Lakers. What do you mean with who?
Boy, you finna tell me that meant something? What was Horace Grant on the Lakers?
What? What do you
Was
mean?
he important?
You got 5 rebounds and 6 points in the playoffs.
All right, cool. Have fun with that.
Hey, got a fourth ring, dude. Charles
listen.
Barkley ain't got no ring. Reggie Miller ain't got no ring. Carmelo ain't got no ring. Horace got 4.
That's true. No,
What do you mean it doesn't mean anything? What do you mean it doesn't mean
anything? Wait. So you trying to tell me you'd rather have Horace Grant's rings than Charles Barkley's career?
I'm telling you that to say one ring that doesn't mean anything, ask those 4 guys if one ring means something. Don't be dumb, dude. Come on. Every ring means something.
Charles Barkley wouldn't want a ring if he had to get it like Horace Grant got it. Stop it. Come on now.
That's not what you said. That is not what you said.
What did I say?
You said, what does that ring mean? Ask those 4 guys what one ring means.
Wait, no. First he said, what do you mean he got a 4th ring?
You
didn't even know about it.
Because it was irrelevant.
And by not knowing about it, now he's getting himself fired up, and now he's just going to defend it to the death. We all know the
because if you're a Horace Grant, you were the 3rd best player on one of the greatest teams of all time. You didn't turn that around. It was the 3rd best player on a young Orlando Magic team with Penny Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal, the team that looked like to be the future of the Eastern Conference. And then you find yourself on the Lakers doing what?
Right. No, but that's not what you said. You said, what does it matter, the 4th ring? Dude, he played and he got a ring. What do you mean it doesn't matter? It's a championship.
I forgot about it.
Thank you.
I did.
If you didn't look it up, you wouldn't know he got a ring with the Lakers. He wasn't important. Ron Harper was also on the Lakers, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Glenn Rice. And you think they care about that ring they got? Yes. Because it means something to them.
Ron Harper's role if they start selling off rings, that's going to be the first one to go. How about that?
Evan George got 6, 5.
They start selling them things off. That Laker one going to be the first one on eBay.
But don't say it doesn't matter, dude. Just because you weren't the superstar doesn't mean it don't matter.
It's not that you weren't the
ask Derek Fisher if his rings matter.
But Derek Fisher's role on the Lakers was vital.
Ask Ron Artest.
Vital role on the Lakers. Give me another one.
All right. Let me just say this.
Evan George.
Listen, his ring's going to be on eBay if they ain't already.
All right. Now you're just going to pick and choose. They won a ring. It matters.
Goodness. All right. Well, I want to keep going here because
Horace Grant.
Horace Grant. I was so glad to read Horace Grant.
AKA Ho Grant. Stop it.
Yeah. I loved reading his comments. And then this morning I go undecided and I see my father. My dad has a debate up. Did Horace Grant go too far on his comments on Michael Jordan? And like 78% of people are saying, no, I loved it. I like that somebody finally stood up to Michael Jordan. I don't care if it's 30 years after the fact or 20 years after the fact. Horace Grant looked big. Like every time they did an interview with him, the angle, he looked big. Like if I think if I were Horace Grant, I'd grab Michael Jordan by his little, I'd beat his freaking ass. I'm not taking his crap.
I wasn't trying to defend Horace. I wasn't trying to.
Yeah, you was. You're gonna tell me he won a title with the Lakers? I don't damn about no title with the Lakers. You the 7th man.
The faster you talk, the less I can hear you. But all I'm saying, I wasn't trying to defend Horace Grant. All I was saying was that's cool that he went up with Horace Grant. I guarantee you, there's other players on those teams that didn't come out documentary that would go up against Jordan too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying I like the fact that not everybody has to kiss the GOAT's ass everywhere he goes. That's all I'm trying to say, that I like the aftermath.